So the new power forward for the Indiana Fever, a potential star. A star, I'll say star. I'm not going to say superstar. I think she has a potential to be an all-star. That is what I will say for Natasha Howard, is she definitely has that ability to be an all-star. And with that comes obviously responsibility to play like that. And if you were Natasha Howard, you're in a perfect situation. And she has signed for the Fever, and she has revealed why she signed for the Fever. Obviously, it has only been made officially official in the last hour or so. You can see here 45 minutes, home sweet home, just over an hour ago. They tweeted out, and they still haven't technically tweeted out they've signed to Wanda Bonner, I don't think. But here is the video for Natasha Howard that we are going to be playing before talking about why Natasha Howard is going to be, why she said she wanted to go to Indiana. So let's just play this on 1.5 times speed so that you guys can hear. Actually, let's go 1.25. So it's still, if you're watching this video on 1.5 times speed, which is hard to do because of how fast that I speak. But yeah, let's play it.
Massive step forward for the Indiana Fever and their quest for a championship. In Howard, the Fever gain a 3-time WNBA champion, a Defensive Player of the Year, an All-Star, and a veteran with more than 300 games played. And for Natasha Howard, her signing with the Indiana Fever also represents a return to her WNBA roots. In 2014,
I want to see when was the last time she was an All-Star. So the last time she was an All-Star was 2022. So literally 3 seasons ago.
Howard was selected with the 5th pick in the WNBA draft by, yes, Kelly Kroskoff and the Indiana Fever. Last season, with a minimum of 25 games played, Natasha Howard was one of just 13 players to average 18 points per game. She was one of 16 players to average 7 rebounds per game. And the list of players to average both 18 and 7 last year, short and elite. Asia Wilson, Breanna Steward, Napheesa Collier, Brittany Griner, and yes, Natasha Howard. Versatility is a major calling card for Howard, who is more than capable of banging with the bigs down low, but she can step out to the three-point line too. Howard has knocked down more than 150 threes in her career.
She's a very iffy three-point shooter. I reckon she'll be around 30, but she is an iffy three-point shooter. I will say that. I will say this. She is a very iffy shooter.
And that ability to spread the floor should provide All-Star guards Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell ample space to create. And one of her best attributes pairs perfectly with Clark, her ability to run the floor and be a target for those patented Caitlin Clark outlet passes. But all of that, and we haven't yet touched upon what Howard does best, defend. Howard was named Defensive Player of the Year in 2019 and has finished in the top 10 of the Defensive Player of the Year voting 3 times in her career. Howard has averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal per game in each of her last 7 seasons.
I will say with Natasha Howard is her defense was a lot worse in Dallas than it was in Seattle. I thought her defense was quite poor last season. But the thing is the team, it's kind of hard to play good defense when your team doesn't play defense. So I would just be hoping, that's the one thing I would hope, that's just a situation where, things are working out okay, or she's here to play defense and she'll lock in where she can do it, but is choosing not to, hopefully.
And that versatility is really what makes her a weapon on defense. She possesses a near 7-foot wingspan, allowing her to switch seamlessly onto guards and wings. But that wingspan and 6'2" height allows her to be disruptive defensively around the rim on opposing bigs too. In fact, Howard will enter the 2025 season 25th all-time in blocks in WNBA history. All of this is music to Stephanie White's ears. And as the Fever have high hopes for deep playoff runs in the future, they bring in a player in Howard who has a penchant for playing her best when the spotlight is brightest. In the 2018 finals clinching win, Howard unleashed one of the WNBA's best all-time playoff performances, going for 29 points and 14 rebounds, helping lock down her second championship. And now, Howard returns to the place where her pro career began, hoping to help deliver another title to this proud franchise and elevate this young and talented Indiana Fever core.
And that's the thing when it comes to Natasha Howard, is that she was good last year, but it was hard. It was hard when it came to that Dallas Wings team. You could literally have put Rudy Gobert, and I don't mean like an equivalent. You could put Rudy Gobert into a WNBA game on that Dallas Wings team, and maybe they that's probably gas. And it was maybe they wouldn't be the best defensive team. But Natasha Howard is a really, really good player. But now we're on to why she came. She said, now going into my 12th season, I know what I'm about. During free agency, I was looking for a team that would appreciate me, what I bring to a table, and won't dim my light. That's the thing. I have to deal with that a lot. Even though I bust my butt all day, day in, day out, I still don't get the recognition I deserve. I feel this time around I want a team that will give me the recognition I need. On top of that, just making sure I'm happy. I want to wake up and be like, woo, I feel good. Today I'm going to work. I'm about to be with my teammates. I don't want to be dragging out of bed, trying to find that energy. Overall, I just want to be happy, have great people around me, and teammates that want to work and get better. And with that, like, that is a big one, because if you look at if you look in general at Natasha Howard, what type of a player that she is and what she can kind of do on the floor, she's going to want to run. Like, that is what she is best at. And when you've got Caitlin Clark there and you want to run, Caitlin Clark is going to be a just unbelievable one. Unbelievable one. You've got Natasha Howard being ready to catch passes from Caitlin Clark. She plays with a much higher motor, at least on the offensive end. And even though, no matter what we've seen from Natasha Howard on defense over the last few years, I also do want to say, like, she's better than Alyssa Smith. Even Natasha Howard at her worst is a much better defender than Alyssa Smith. Maybe not a better rebounder in space than Alyssa Smith, but a much, much better defender than Alyssa Smith. So with that, you've now got like a really good defender, or a solid defender, Natasha Howard, who is going to be an elite offensive player and is going to be a fine 3-point shooter. Like, people are saying, like, oh, she scored 153s in her career, but I'm like, for her career, she's shooting 29% from three. Like, she's made, how many games she played? She's played 300 games. So she's making basically a 3 every second game, which isn't bad, but like 29% is, again, almost an Alyssa Smith numbers. The difference is she can make free throws. And that's a positive one, is that she can actually make free throws. So if she does get fouled running the break, then it'll be all good. And like, she's not particularly old. Like, she's not young. She's 33. Still in shape, not in her prime, but still going to be in shape to run up and down the floor. You've got a Fever team who just needs the backup point guard. Like, that's all they need. Once their backup point guard is sorted, they'll be fine. They will genuinely, like they're going to be good. They're going to be really good. Once they get that backup point guard, I think they should be in the championship favorites. I don't understand why the Aces are one of the top 2 favorites. I do not understand. I absolutely do not understand why the Aces are in the top 2 favorites. The Aces got worse. They literally got worse, and they didn't, like, I think people Vegas just have it because the Aces trying to get some money out of people. They got worse, and they lost in the semis last year in comfortable fashion. But obviously, here is what Amber Cox has said about Natasha Howard. She's been a top free agent target for us since day one. In addition to being one of the most versatile forwards our league has ever seen, she's also proven winner and bring a great veteran presence to our locker room. Indiana Fever General Manager and COO Amber Cox. Having worked with her the last 2 seasons, I came to admire her professionalism approach to the game. She's an incredible player and an even better person. We're thrilled to welcome her back to the Fever. And then obviously she has said, I'm so thankful to God for leading me back to my home with the Indiana Fever. No matter the situation, when you believe in uplift, a great gift will be waiting for you. Howard said, I'm excited to get back to Indiana, represent and share the love with those who believed me from day one. And it's a funny one with Natasha Howard, because obviously her wife does have a presence on social media, and if Natasha Howard stinks it up, there's going to be, like, even if she does early, there's going to be crap on social media. Like, you know that. You know there is. Like, if I was them, I would just delete the Twitter app. You can ignore all the stuff on, like, TikTok and stuff, but if Natasha Howard is good, and that's what she's really talking about. She's talking about the recognition she wants. That she wants more recognition, that she wants, people to be talking about her more and stuff. Like, her doing that, her doing what she's doing right now, you have now got a situation where, with Natasha Howard, where she knows if she plays well, if she runs the floor hard, and she knows if she can be the, like, running mate to Caitlin, and she's wanting to get more recognition, maybe she's thinking, I've only made 2 All-Star teams. I've done this. I'm a 3-time champion. And nobody's talking about me in those top power forward conversations. That's got to change. And now if she can go and step up and the Fever are good, every eye is on her. That can be a blessing or a curse. It can be. Some players are made for the bright lights, some aren't. And it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully Natasha Howard is, for her own sake. Because if you make this choice and you just stink it up on the court, it's not going to work out well for you on social media. Like any of these players, like, don't delete your accounts, just delete your apps. For all these players, if you have a bad game, delete the app. If you miss a game winner, or if you travel on a game-winning possession, or you go 0 for 8, just delete the Twitter app on your phone. Don't look at it. Go play your next game and wait until you have a good game. Then you can look at the Twitter app, because with a team like the Indiana Fever, you're going to get more recognition. That can be a positive or a negative. You're going to get positive recognition when things are going well, and you're going to be getting negative recognition when things are going badly, and that's just a reality of the situation. So hopefully, things go well for her. Hopefully things go well for Natasha Howard. And if you guys agree, I think you want things to go well for Natasha Howard, subscribe. We're trying to hit 42.5k subscribers by the end of the day. If we could do that, that would be absolutely incredible, lads. We're like 92 off. And I've been working my ass off the last few days. So if you guys could subscribe, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. But anyway, I'll see you guys.